Hey everybody, TSW here. This is a video that I've just hit record on, so no script or anything. Just bear with me because I am going to be running down BlizzCon notes that I took. I chatted with some friends after BlizzCon, and yeah, there was some really cool information that was shared with us. So the biggest one in my eyes is pre-nerf. One of the biggest issues I have with Classic is it's pretty easy. And it'd be nice to actually get some actual progress instead of seeing guilds basically one-shot everything until it's all dead. So hashtag some changes, this is fine. The main reason why hashtag no changes was such a big factor with Classic was because we hadn't seen what Blizzard were going to actually implement when it came to Classic. So it was safest for the community and everyone as a whole to say, don't change anything. If you have a choice, don't change it, because then at least the baseline of Classic is good. It's Classic, you know. If they start changing things, it no longer becomes Classic, particularly with Blizzard's first response to Classic being pristine servers, which, if you don't remember, was like a stupid idea where it was literally live but with a level cap. That's not Classic. You need the old continent. You need the old quests. You need the old mechanics. Anyway, so no changes was a good approach, I think, for Classic. Now that Blizzard have obviously learned from Classic, I see this as an absolute win for myself and other TBC players. Classic WoW has almost been like a beta for Classic content from Blizzard, and this means that hopefully we can get a much better formed expansion for Classic where Blizzard have learned from their mistakes, and I'm so excited for that. So spell batching is gone. Spell batching was around in TBC. This is one of the many things that Blizzard has learnt from, as well as feedback from the community. Spell batching is gone. This is really good. It was already on the PTR, and a lot of this was already leaked before. But anyway, it's really good that spell batching is gone. Seal of Blood and Vengeance are coming cross faction, so that's really nice. It's a big threat boost for tanking, as well as a damage boost as well. So Paladins rejoice. ELO or MMR, they're still up in the air about how they want to be distributing the rating from arenas, but that's really nice that they're thinking about it. I know a lot of arena players are really excited with that. Instead of having a really stagnant arena ranking where you could just play a load of games at the start and, you know, it not be very dynamic and a lot of movement in the system, now there should be more of that. Blizzard are at least aware of it, concerned about it, and we'll probably be seeing some sort of change there, so that's cool. There will be a pre-patch. Now I suspect that the smallest period of time for a pre-patch would be about 2 weeks. I'm kind of thinking 2 weeks because they gave us 2 weeks of name reservation for active subs in Classic. I think 2 weeks is kind of a similar time frame for that. They're giving us something early. In Classic, it was the name reservation, and in TBC, it's the pre-patch. However, I was speaking to Sam from the podcast. He was saying that he recalls from retail, it was a 1 month pre-patch. So I think, you know, two weeks, 1 month is kind of the time frame I'd expect the pre-patch to last. There was no mention of the duration of the pre-patch. This is just my thoughts. We've got phasing. Tier 4 is its own phase on launch. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is tier 5. Phase 3 is tier 6. Phase 4 is Zulaman, a 10-man raid as a catch-up raid. And the final phase being Sunwell Plateau. Did those numbers add up? Anyway, it's that content in however many phases that content was. There will be a paid boost system to level 58. Now, this is potentially problematic in that, yeah, like profession alts and things like that are going to be effectively ruined. It's only one per account, but still, that is, it's pay to win in a sense. And it's really going to drive up the price of materials for these professions, leveling them in Classic right now. It already has done. On my server, Runecloth's already tripled in price. So the system is what I thought it was. Not trying to, you know, flex on my predictions too hard. But yeah, so what you have is the case of your Classic character now. You then pick up that character and you say, I want it to go to TBC or I want it to remain on Classic. You get to do that for every character on your account. Cool. But then as an addition, you can pay to have that character be on both. So it's a free thing to keep it in one location. You take it, you bring it to TBC, or you leave it in Classic. That's fine. That's free. Every character can do that. Or you pay and it goes to both. Beta access, soon TM. So we don't know when beta's coming. They're saying that they're quite far along with it, but that could mean anything. One thing that I do want to mention is there isn't much development required for Classic, so I think they've been developing TBC for a long time. They did show examples of some of their teething issues, such as like textures and instance IDs and things like that. I don't think any of those issues are issues that have recently been plaguing them and their development. I think these are things that were looked at and fixed months ago, maybe a year ago even. This TBC stuff would have, like, I don't think any of the examples they gave are recent examples of issues. I think with the lack of development needed for Classic, they've just been saying, like, Classic was, in my eyes, in my opinion, Control-C, Control-V, tweak a bit, and that's Classic. I think Blizzard have been fairly hands-off, but I also think that the Classic has been probably the biggest return on investment ever for Blizzard. They've had to do very little. It's just Control-C, Control-V, bit of tweaking. Obviously, there's more to that, but compared to making a new WoW expansion, developing a new IP like they did for like Heroes of the Storm or Overwatch, in particular Overwatch, all of that is very expensive, whereas with Classic it's the same stuff that they've got. It's just like a technical exercise in porting it over to new hardware and cloud services. That's it. So I think they've had lots of time to do TBC stuff. I think TBC, like, what are the odds that Naxxramas is about to be farmed to oblivion? Oh, by chance TBC is about ready and we're going to be launching it soon. No way. I think that they've had TBC in the bag for ages, and I think it's just a case of wait for the sub count to kind of dwindle a bit, and then boom, they'll hit us with beta teasers, and then like with Classic, instead of doing any marketing, like the only marketing I was aware of was the window in the Battle.net launcher for Classic. I didn't see Classic mentioned anywhere else besides online publications. And I think the same will be with TBC, in that it's the beta. Beta is the advertising. It costs Blizzard nothing. Again, it's such a big return on investment for Blizzard. They just do a beta, that gets hype, everyone's talking about it, and then a little bit later we get the launch. One thing that I am on the fence is when we get the beta, how long until we get the live? Because with Classic, it was quite a bit of a delay. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the beta came and went, and there was quite a stretch before we got actual live. And I do wonder if, because I think TBC is in a much better state, having longer time to develop it throughout the life cycle of Classic, I do wonder if it's going to be beta and then fairly quickly into live. It depends, I suppose, how the beta goes, if there's a lot of things that they need to fix or not. And so I do, like, I'm talking to myself in this video. I do think there will be a fair stretch of time, because maybe it's better for the hype and the launch if there's a better distinction between beta and then later on live. So maybe we'll see more like what we saw with Classic. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble a bit more. I'm just like so happy we've got pre-nerf. I think it's going to be a very exciting time for Classic. I thank everyone who played Classic, because, like I say, Classic is essentially beta testing, like testing the waters for TBC. And I think TBC is going to be not everything that Classic should have been, but a big portion of what Classic should have been. Anyway, thank you for listening to my thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the description down below. One thing also, actually, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. This is all in one take. I really want to get into pre-nerf guides for bosses. Now, recently, like the last 3 years or so, I've been playing on exclusively pre-nerf servers for TBC. So what I want to do is just talk to all my homies that I've done raids with and pick their brains and saying, how do you maximize min-max on this boss? Like, let's say Alar in Tempest Keep. How do you min-max as a Moonkin on this fight? How do you min-max as a Warlock on this fight? How do you min-max as a Rogue, a Warrior? Okay, cool. I'm going to do a specific guide for how to DPS on X encounter, and that'll be the video. And then talk to my healing buddies and be like, yo, how do you heal for this fight? Okay, and then do a specific how do you heal min-max in this fight, because loads of people do a video where it's like, this is the fight, these are the mechanics, that's the video. I want to be doing a more hands-on approach where this is specifically for your healers, this is what you need to be looking out for, these are the weak points for the tanks, you need to be aware of this and pick them up, make sure they don't die. And you know, this is a really mana intensive fight. You need to be mana potting very early, shadow fiending on the pull and just pumping, because later on it's easier or whatever, you know, having more direct strategies for the bosses rather than just the boss has a cleave, he threat resets at 50% and you know, you need 3 tanks. That's basic. You can get that from any kind of video, and that's the sort of thing that I want to bring into it as well. And again, for tanking, talk to my paladin homies and my druid friends and just be like, yo, this boss slaps. You want to just forego every stat besides armor and stamina and just sit there and take the hit, and at 20% if you can, try and save cooldowns. These are the better consumables to have, etc. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, please let me know in the comments. I would really like to do some sort of content like that. I think I have a good angle where it comes to making videos on YouTube for pre-nerf content. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed BlizzCon. I hope that you got the news that you wanted. It wasn't perfect from what I heard about WoW, but it was really good. And again, if you enjoy any other Blizzard games, I hope you had a good BlizzCon. I know it was weird being virtual, but yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe, and see you later. When I find my mouse, I'll end the video. Bye.